We can safely say at this point that TikTok is one of those platforms that will never be free of drama. There's never any real peace on that app, because every other day you'll hear about a new controversy, a new messy situation, or a whole new category of cringe content creators. Even accounts known for wholesome, drama-free content somehow end up in chaos sooner or later. The content we're talking about today used to fall into that drama-free category not too long ago. But recently she's been popping up all over people's For You pages, and definitely not for the right reasons. We're talking about PrettyLuhhthang, a creator with over 1 million followers and tons of viral videos. If you're chronically online on TikTok, you've probably come across one of some of her sweet, wholesome reels. But now her name is getting dragged across the internet because her mom exposed her for allegedly having a 31-year-old boyfriend at just 18 years old. This claim made by her mother during a live session has sent her fans into a complete frenzy. According to her mother, she even skipped her daughter's graduation because the nearly 31-year-old boyfriend was going to be there.
And she mad at me because I told y'all what his age was, because that's the reason why I didn't want to go to the graduation, because he's there. I'm not going to go. If I see this man and I know you done prayed and you grooming my child, I'm going to go off.
What does that mean?
That means nothing. I can't say it online. So I'm not mad at her at all. I just don't go around pedophile men. If I would have went there, I would have did something. And she mad at me.
In response, PrettyLuhhthang has posted multiple reels calling out her mother for hypocrisy, throwing allegations back at her, and escalating the drama on TikTok. What's worse is that she is now exposing her mother for neglect, telling the world that she was touched as a child by one of her mom's romantic interests. Today we're going to unpack everything that went down between this mother-daughter duo. Two people who have been seen together in countless wholesome reels, yet are now airing each other out online for millions to see. So without further ado, let's get into it. Have you ever wondered why you're getting spam calls? I'm also getting them too, and recently it started getting so bad that I finally searched my own name online. What I found honestly shocked me. My old address, my phone number, and even an email I haven't used in years were all publicly listed on multiple data broker websites. I never gave anyone permission to post that, and suddenly the spam calls, random login attempts, and even a suspicious credit inquiry all made sense. These companies collect and sell your personal information without telling you, and removing it on your own is nearly impossible. That's exactly where Aura comes in. Aura automatically sends removal requests to data brokers on your behalf and keeps monitoring to make sure your info stays off those lists for good. You also get real-time alerts if your data hits the dark web, plus credit and banking fraud monitoring. Their all-in-one security app includes a secure VPN, antivirus, a password manager, and spam calling blocking to protect your devices. And if anything goes wrong, their 24/7 US-based support and $1 million identity theft insurance have your back. Take control of your privacy. Try Aura free for 14 days at aura.com/RKH. Now let's get back into the video. Now if you're completely clueless about who we're talking about and who this girl even is, please wait, because the tea surrounding her and her mother was literally all over TikTok a few days ago, and it's so entertaining. So if you're unfamiliar with this budding TikToker, here are the basics. She's nearly 18 years old, recently graduated high school, and already boasts over 1 million followers on TikTok. She joined the platform sometime in 2022 and quickly became noticeable for her charming personality and a collection of wholesome, aesthetically pleasing reels. The first reel of hers that blew up and pulled in millions of views was this one. After that, she only continued to grow, gaining more traction and building a solid brand for herself on social media. During our research, we also found out that she recently founded her own lip gloss and hair cap business. From the information she has shared online, it appears she has several siblings, used to live with her mother, later went into foster care, and now lives independently in her own apartment. If you visit her YouTube channel, you'll notice right away that her relationship with her mother has always been strained. Nearly 2 years ago, she left her mom's home and entered foster care. And the reason, according to her, was their constantly deteriorating relationship and what she described as a lack of empathy from her mother. In a video she posted in July 2025, PrettyLuhhthang explained what her life with her mother was like before going into foster care. She claimed she had a mentally unstable, crazy, she described him, father who was abusive toward her mother. To escape him, her mother left the place she grew up in and moved to Orlando. According to the creator, she hated Orlando from the moment she arrived. As a teenager, she struggled to adjust. She had no friends, no phone, and her mother reportedly even restricted her from listening to music.
So, my mama had moved to Orlando when I was like 8 or 9, one of those. But she moved, number one, because she didn't want to be in Broward no more, and number two, from my daddy. And that's one of the reasons why she don't play about the locations, because my daddy is crazy. My daddy is like one of them obsessive type of men, and my daddy is crazy. So she left from down there to get away from him. So that's why she don't really like people with her location and stuff. She don't like nobody with her location. She don't like my grandma with her location. Nobody used to have a location. I stood on that. She brought me up with telling me not to tell people her location, so I never told nobody her location till she put my business out there that had nothing to do with y'all at all. But since it's out there, I don't care. But of course, I ain't just gonna get on there and tell y'all no shit like that. So we moved up to Orlando, and then okay, so boom, that's like 10, 11, 12. So as I started getting older, I started realizing what I wanted in life, and I did not want to be in Orlando. That's why I just don't like Orlando. I'm not even trying to get back on Orlando. I really don't like Orlando. I'm starting to like it now because I'm older and I could do more things and maneuver how I want to maneuver since I got a car and I'm able to do other things. But back then I did not like it. It was boring to me. Everybody was just weird to me. Everybody was just off. I don't know, maybe it's because like since I was born and raised in Broward and then moving to Orlando to a whole nother different environment that I'm not used to, and they just, y'all know it's fast down here. Everybody live that fast, like everybody crunk. Down up there it's like everybody just slowed down, everybody boring, everybody, all the black people act like white people and all the white people act like, it was just, I didn't like it. So
in the video, she went on to explain that her mother was never emotionally present during any of this. She said her mom felt distant and detached, which built resentment over time. She added that she believes her mother was emotionally absent because she viewed her daughter as a difficult child and someone who reminded her too much of her crazy father. She also mentioned that instead of her own mother, it was her grandmother who served as the constant emotional support throughout her life.
That the devil started taking over my mind. Yes, he was playing with my mind. He was playing with my, I promise y'all it was like, he was like, I would be in my room crying every day. My mama never came to check up on me. She came to check up on me every blue moon, but even when she did, she never sat down with me. It was never none of that. Faith was the one coming to check up on me. Leah, you okay? Like Faith felt me. Faith felt my pain. Faith is the peacemaker. Faith is the one, like I know she over there right now, Mom. I ain't gonna lie, you was wrong. Faith is very smart. And Faith know right from wrong. Faith is like, Faith could feel people's energy. Faith is just Faith. So I know she over there in my mama's ear telling her stuff that she put up about the situation stuff. So, and I do regret dropping her location. The only reason I regret dropping her location is because my siblings over there. That's the only reason I regret it. That's literally the only reason. If I ain't had no siblings over there, I would not care at all. But so I would sit over there, I would cry every day. How many minutes I'm at? 6 minutes. I would cry every day, non-stop. I would lock myself in the closet, in the dark closet, and sit in there and cry and be depressed every day. Every day it was the same thing. Same day, same thing. I done tried counseling. That did not work. I didn't have all the resources. I didn't want to talk to the counseling people. The only person I wanted to talk to was my grandma. That was the only person I had to talk to me. My grandma was there for me emotionally, mentally, physically. That was the only person that was there for me. My grandma. My mama was never what is it called, physically there for me or mentally there for me. Like I never had no close bond with my mom. I always had that close bond with my grandma. Never had that close bond with my mama at all. Like she was very distant with me. She said that one of the reasons was because every time she looked at me, it reminded me of my daddy. Another reason she said she was always distant because I was just...
According to PrettyLuhhthang, she was really difficult as a child compared to all her siblings. She says she was constantly getting into trouble at school, starting fights at home, and generally giving her mom a tough time. In her words, she was emotionally distressed after moving to Orlando, and was expressing all those feelings through her behavior. She also talked about her little brother Anthony in the video, admitting that her mom treated him differently, which is why he was the one always appearing on camera with her. She said her mother somehow emotionally relied on this brother for support in ways she never relied on her.
It's fucking school. Like, I'm getting phone calls every week about something. I was always bad. Mind you, none of her kids was never bad. I was always the bad one, the one that was gonna crank up. So that I was always in trouble. And then every time she used to put me on punishment, it used to be at months at a time. So every time when I was on punishment, I used to get in trouble in a couple of weeks and be right back on punishment. So my punishment back then never ended. I was always on punishment. That she never, like, y'all know how y'all close with y'all mom, y'all could give y'all mom kisses, hugs, and it don't feel that way. I could do that all day with my grandma. I can't do that with my mama without it feeling awkward in a way. So my mom was never there for me mentally. My mom was never there for me. She was there for me physically. Like, she made sure I was straight. She made sure I had what I needed. Just put it like that. Like, while I was living there before foster care, she made sure I had what I needed. As in, like, a book bag, 3 pairs of shoes, couple of clothes. And I used to pee in the bed. So I used to pee out all my clothes. And stuff like that. So, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Like, I was in a really dark space with my mama. A really dark space. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat or lie. I used to go around the house and start stuff with my mom and my brother. But before I used to go around the house and start stuff, them two used to always tag team against me. Always. Before all of it, them two used to always, Anthony always been slimy. He be like that his whole life. That's his personality. That's how he always gonna be. He's always gonna be. He do the same thing to my mama. He'll go down to Broward with his daddy, use his daddy for his vert because he wanna drive around in the vert and be outside, and then turn on my mama. My mama always tell me that's her only friend right now. That's the only person she got up there right now. So that's why it always in the camera. But she already know what the business is with Anthony too. Like, everybody know what the business is with Anthony. Anthony is flawed. Anthony is not.
In another older video about her life as a foster kid, PrettyLuhhthang opened up in detail about what led her mother to practically give her up while she was mentally struggling and going through a very bad phase. And honestly, it'll break your heart. According to her, around March 2023, she began acting out with her mother. During one of her many altercations with her mother, she said her mom finally had enough, put her in rehab, and then basically never looked back. She recalls that after getting out of the hospital, after completing tests and everything, she called her mom and asked her directly if she was really giving her up. And her mom replied, yes, sure.
Big reacted March 7th. No, I keep saying March 7th. I got big reacted March 5th or 6th, one of them. So, my job is right before my birthday. I had everything planned out for my birthday. So, it's been like a lot of stuff going on before her to want to say, okay, I'm done with her, I don't want nothing to do with her, boom. Like, it's been plenty of times I've been big right. There's been plenty of times I done spazzed out of her house. I done did all types of stuff, but the one thing about it, I ain't never put my hands on my mama. That's one thing about it. But I done went around the house, teared up stuff, broke stuff, all types of stuff. So, you know, she came to that point where she just was like, I'm done. I can't put up with this, because she quote unquote feels that her or her kids is not safe around me, which that's BS. But I had got Baker at a couple days for my birthday, and I kept telling the doctor, make sure I get out of here before March 8th. And he got me out of there before March 8th. I got out March 7th, and then she didn't come to pick me up. I called her straight up, like from the hospital people phone. I asked her, like, is she gonna give me away? She said, yes, sure is. I will never forget that. She said, yes, sure is. So after that, I hung up, and then that's when my dream.
Now, anyone with a heart and a mind will understand that it's difficult for a mother to manage so many kids while also dealing with a troubled teenager who seems to be creating more problems. The mother was probably struggling to put food on the table, make sure all the kids had what they needed, and on top of that, deal with the emotional outbursts and bad attitude of a teenager. It must have been exhausting. But at the same time, we cannot ignore the fact that she chose to have all these children. Her kids did not ask to be born. So whatever the circumstances are, she is responsible for looking after her children. not just physically, but also emotionally. You cannot simply give up on your kid, especially when that kid's only 15 years old. What we're seeing here is a distressed child who is clearly crying out for help, and instead of receiving support, she was treated like a burden and pushed off onto someone else. And as we go further into this story, as you get introduced to the mother herself, you'll begin to understand exactly what kind of emotional neglect PrettyLuhhthang was referring to. In the video she posted on her YouTube channel shortly after entering foster care, she also talked about how desperately she wanted to escape the group home. She revealed that she tried to run away 3 different times. At one point, she said she almost trusted a man who offered to help her run away, but he expected sex in return. She explained that it was her instinct that saved her, helping her recognize the red flags early and avoid what could have been a dangerous situation. We want to remind you of something important. When all of this was happening, this mother-daughter duo had already blown up on TikTok. According to PrettyLuhhthang, before TikTok, she and her mother had always bumped heads and never saw eye to eye. So it was her mother who pushed out the narrative online that they were a close and loving pair. There are countless reels of her and her mother sharing wholesome moments, laughing together, cooking together, dancing together. But according to the creator, the reality behind all those videos was very different.
That's the only time we be happy, is when we make TikToks, like, and it's so crazy, it's so wrong. We act alike, we look alike, we dress alike, we talk alike. We got the same attitude, same way we talk, same everything. Me and her always bump heads, okay? I ain't never hit my mama, I ain't never touched my mama, none of that. But me and her, we always bump heads, okay? Me and my mama never had no motherly, daughterly bond that y'all be seeing on TikTok and all that. No, it ain't even like that for real, bro. It just got like that when we had blew up on TikTok, because TikTok and social media was bringing us together. Like, us doing videos, that was bonding us together. Before TikTok, which was about 5 months ago, we blew up. 6, 5, it hasn't been, no, it's been longer than those 6 months. It's been about a year, less than a year.
According to Lolcow, the foster care facility she stayed in housed children who came from extremely difficult backgrounds, kids who went through serious trauma and had no family at all to look after them. She said she felt sad because, unlike many of them, she had a mother, yet her mother was the one who placed her in foster care and made it clear that she wouldn't be taking her back anytime soon.
I got us a clean, nice, Christian group home. That's favor. That's what you call favor, y'all. Throughout this situation, I'm still being blessed. I got a job. Half of these, 99%, 98% of these kids in here don't have no job. They don't have nothing, okay? They don't even have the courage and the mindset to be like, okay, I'm sitting here, I might as well just get a job. They don't do that. And it's so sad. It's so sad, bro. It's so sad. Half of these kids, they don't have no family. They don't have no mama, no daddy, no nothing. They all got different situations, been through so much. And that's why I don't even try to complain, because I know they probably been through like worse than me. I come from something. I come from my own. And I ain't gonna lie, I do be looking back like, damn, this is what I turned over because of my action, because of the way I want to act. Anytime I get mad, anytime I feel like I'm gonna get my way, I act crazy. More of the story. It's mainly when I feel like either I'm being disrespected or I feel like something ain't right, and I just get mad and I spaz out. I've been like that since I was 2 years old, quote unquote, by my mom. Yes, I still keep up with myself. I still wash my clothes. I could do all that. And it's actually easier for me to run away from here because to be honest, they don't try to look for you at all. Like, they might look for you for the first couple of days, that's about it. They'll give. It is what it is. At the end of the day, she not trying to get me as of right now. She not trying to get me. I just texted her this morning about something. She was like, she'd rather not go through that no more. Okay, that's cool. I told her straight up. But you still posting me, and you still getting clout from me. You still want me to do TikToks with you. Alright. I will be doing like vlogs. I will be taking y'all on this journey with me. Y'all keep all negative comments.
It's tragic, heartbreaking, and honestly hard to digest. But what is inspiring is that despite being stranded by her mother and going through intense emotional turmoil, this young girl did not give up on life. For nearly 2 years, she continued uploading to TikTok and YouTube, showing her day-to-day experiences as a foster kid. Over time, people saw the resilience in her. They saw someone who was young, hurt, abandoned, and overwhelmed, yet still pushing forward. As time went on, her following grew more and more. Most of her content pulled in solid views, and her engagement stayed consistent. Pretty recently, in 2025, she achieved some major milestones. She graduated high school, bought a car under her own name with the money she earned, moved into her own apartment, and genuinely started piecing her life together in her own way. But despite all this growth, and despite having every reason to feel proud of her daughter, her mother decided to skip the graduation. When people questioned her during a live session about why she didn't show up for her daughter's big day, she went straight into airing out her publicly for everyone to see. According to her mom, she didn't attend the graduation because her daughter's boyfriend, who she claimed was 31 years old, was going to be there. She said she didn't support her daughter dating an older man, and that the situation traumatized her because, according to her, PrettyLuhhthang's father had allegedly preyed on her in a similar way when she was younger.
And she mad at me because I told y'all what his age was, because that's the reason why I didn't want to go to the graduation, because he's there. I'm not going to go. If I see this man and I know you done prayed and you grooming my child, I'm going to go off.
What does that mean?
That means nothing. I can't say it online. So I'm not mad at her at all. I just don't go around pedophile men. If I would have went there, I would have did something to that man. So I stayed in my area where my peaceful place is at, my house. Shush! She only acting like she care right now because of me telling y'all how old this man is. Other than that, I got a text right now. She said, "In Jesus Christ, don't come. I don't want you there. Block my number. Ben had me blocked for days." What y'all don't want? That same ninja that freaking she posted that gave her a cake with her ass out on the cake. That's all he care about is her. That's it. Man, I'm not going around that man. That bring back trauma to me. Her daddy did me the same exact way. Prayed on me when I was a kid. I'm just trying to protect her.
During this same live session, the mother didn't stop there. She also brought up the past again, saying her daughter was always the bad kid, always breaking things, always throwing tantrums, and always making life difficult. She used this live moment to paint her daughter as the consistent problem, something that only added more fuel to the already messy situation.
This is the situation here. This is why she was never living here when she turned 16, because she crashes out. This ain't nothing new.
She paid for the car.
Watch out.
Mommy.
She crashes out. Break things, pull out knives, tear down stuff.
No, it's not that. Y'all know.
I just let her learn. But I'ma still tell her what's right and what's wrong. She said let her learn on her own mistakes. I said okay.
And I'm on parole, but
if somebody asked me why you ain't go to the graduation, that's the truth. That's why I didn't go to the graduation. What is the big deal? If you know what you're doing is not right, you want people to hide it, don't do it. The people asked me the truth, I gave them the truth. I'm not gonna leave my kids at home by themselves, my little ones, and I'm not gonna go around somebody that's a P word. That's it. I don't care if I could have said all the way across over the way. I still got a bump in his, but I still got that in my mind that he's there.
Everybody gonna come in the group at the end of the thing.
So what the mom is saying isn't entirely wrong, because yes, it is concerning that a 31-year-old man is apparently dating an 18-year-old. People still didn't believe this was the real reason she skipped her daughter's graduation. Given the long, complicated history between her and her daughter, many felt she simply made up an excuse to avoid attending such an important milestone. Because, let's be honest, you gave up your daughter to foster care when she was barely 16, labeled her the bad kid while she pushed through the odds, through emotional neglect, through instability, and still managed to graduate. You're gonna skip her big day because of some random man she's dating? People could understand disagreeing with your daughter's decision to date an older person. They could even understand disliking the boyfriend for being, frankly, a creep. But missing your kid's graduation simply because you disapprove, that's where most people drew the line. What made the situation even worse was how openly the mother discussed her daughter's business on social media instead of speaking to her privately. For a while before graduation, PrettyLuhhthang had mentioned having a boyfriend, but no one knew he was 31. And when fans eventually found out, many tried reaching out, not to attack her, but to warn her, to tell her she was trusting the wrong person. People genuinely felt concerned for her safety and well-being. But even with the concerns surrounding her boyfriend, fans still didn't buy that this was the mom's true reason for skipping the ceremony. And honestly, a lot of that doubt came from the mother's own attitude. It felt less like she was worried about her daughter and more like she was trying to prove a point to the internet that her daughter always made bad decisions, that she was difficult, that whatever happened was somehow her fault. Instead of showing any empathy or concern, she seemed focused on being right, and this rubbed people the wrong way. For many viewers, it didn't come across like a worried mother setting boundaries. It came across like someone exposing her child online for clout, validation, or to paint herself as the victim. And naturally, this made people angry. At the end of the day, parents are supposed to guide their children, especially when they're young, naive, and making questionable choices. But skipping your daughter's graduation, airing her out on a live stream and weaponizing her trauma, that's what made people question her intentions and doubt the narrative she was trying so hard to push. PrettyLuhhthang, who already had a pretty deeply strained relationship with her mother, did not take any of this lightly. The very same day her mother aired everything out on social media, PrettyLuhhthang hopped on TikTok and fired right back. According to her, she wasn't about to let her mother ruin her big day by blasting private issues online for an audience. She called her mother weird, claiming that whenever she tried to cut contact or set boundaries, her mom would chase her down and force herself back into her life. She also accused her mom of constantly using her for views, clout, and TikTok content.
Y'all, please do not mind my face. I didn't even let her not come into my graduation bother me because I'm so used to her shenanigans. Like, I don't even care for her no more. I tell her that all the time. I don't care for you no more. You left me stranded. Like, I don't care about nothing about what you got going on. I don't care. But now she got me messed up. But I'm going to come on here. I'm going to say what I got to say. And I'm going to make my drafts. And then I'm going to post my drafts throughout the day. But I'm going to continue to enjoy my day because I was having a blessed, wonderful day with just my grandma and my papa and my auntie coming to my graduation, showing up. Like, y'all don't even understand. I play my part as a daughter. I never did nothing wrong to this lady. Do not disrespect this lady how I used to know nothing. She called me, oh, you need to come up here. You need to come up here for Faith's birthday. You need to come up here for Lolcow's birthday. You need to come up here for Yana's birthday. I made it up there for every fucking birthday, y'all. I just bought her some earrings for her birthday. Was finna show up for her birthday. I do my part as a daughter. Fuck what I got going on in my personal life and who I talk to. I do my part as a daughter. And you still ain't satisfied. Like, she's so territorial and weird. I made it my priority to burn up that road to come up there for you every single time I turn around. Guess what? She always asking me for TikToks. Can you do a TikTok with me? Can you do this with me? Oh, can we make a video? Can we do this skit? Can we do this? Soon as we get off camera and I go back down the road, she's selling out, y'all. Selling me out. So every time she sell me out when I go down the road, I stop texting her. She end up texting me. She always texts me back first, y'all. Always come back to me first. She chases me down. Like, so I end up going back up there, seeing what they got going on. Oh, man, can you make a TikTok with me? Can you do this with me? Like, come on now, you weird. Like, you is weird. Like,
amidst all of this, everything truly exploded when her mother publicly stated that her daughter was dating a 31-year-old man. That one detail sparked a massive social media debate and kicked off a very public, very messy back and forth between mother and daughter. Some people sided with the mother, saying that a grown man hanging around a teenager was inappropriate and predatory. Others sided with the daughter, arguing that it was her life, her decisions, and her mother had no right to weaponize the information on social media. And as promised in her initial video, PrettyLuhhthang said she would be exposing her mother, and she kept her every word. In a follow-up TikTok, she claimed that her mother had actually met this boyfriend before. She said he had already interacted with her mother when he dropped her off in Orlando and had also attended her birthday celebration. According to her, her mother never objected, never warned her, never said anything. So from her perspective, her mother's sudden outrage felt performative and intentionally timed to ruin her graduation day. She insisted this wasn't about concern, it was about control and an excuse to skip the event and make herself look like the victim online.
Love you. I'm gonna first start off by saying all that, oh, you didn't want to be there because he was there. I don't want to hear that. Y'all, this lady met up with me while I was with him at a gas station so that I can get in the car with her so that we could go to the car show on Easter. That's number one. On my birthday, she met up with him in the Benz. It's on her page. We met halfway, Vero Beach. He drove me halfway. Nothing was said. She didn't meet him. No, nothing. That was that. So she could have did the same thing at graduation. There was plenty of times they was a couple of feet from each other. She also mentioned that she would actually meet him one day. She just got to see his intentions and if he gonna stick around. And all that you didn't want to leave the kids at home and not come to my graduation. I don't want to hear that either. because for Easter, you left them up there all the way in Orlando. Faith, Loso, and Ayana, you left them up there at the house, and you came down to a car show for a car show, and I drove y'all back after the car show. So I don't want to hear that either. So y'all, and she seen a picture of him. I did not show her the picture, but that's besides the point.
Then came the part that made viewers collectively say, wait, what? Pretty Lil Thug claimed that her mother even said after meeting the boyfriend that he was her type.
If I'm lying, I am fucking flying. She said, ooh, that's my type now. But that's my type now. If I'm lying, I am flying. Every time this boy do something good for me, she complains. It was a whole situation about my friend too, that I never got to the internet, but she made up all these assumptions about my friend and did the same thing with my friend. The only friend that y'all know about, she did the same thing with my friend. It's jealousy. She don't want to see me happy. She don't want to see me with nobody. Not saying that the situation is wrong, but it's a certain way you move about it. Feel me? Like, okay, y'all asked why she didn't come to my graduation. She could have just said, because I ain't want to leave the kids home. Simple. Simple. She dead wrong. Like, you're weird. Let me live and let me learn. Y'all got to understand that no matter what's being said or what's going on, it's not changing nothing. I'm still in the lamb. I'm still with the nigga. It ain't changing nothing.
If that statement is true, it is undeniably strange and inappropriate. According to Pretty Lil Thug, her mother has always had a problem whenever she formed connections with people or found any support system outside the family. She felt like her mom wanted her to be isolated, dependent, and easier to manipulate. Now, if you thought this mother-daughter back and forth was already embarrassing, buckle up, because things got much uglier. In her next video addressing her mother, Pretty Lil Thug made several extremely serious allegations. These claims put her mother in a brutally bad light. But before getting into those details, some context is important. As previously mentioned, Pretty Lil Thug has multiple siblings. Only Ayana and Loso share the same father. The rest of the kids, including Pretty Lil Thug herself, have different fathers. In her video, she alleged that Ayana's father touched her younger sister Faith. According to her, it wasn't a one-time incident, but something that happened repeatedly. She said the situation got so severe that her mother had to call the police on him at one point. But despite allegedly knowing all of this, she claimed her mother still allows that man to visit the house and be around her other underage children.
Like, this made me so worried about who I talk to. But was the same one that said that nigga is so tight. Then it's like, how could you get on me about something, but you over there doing the opposite of what you preaching online? She got a baby daddy, but she only got one baby daddy in Orlando. Basically, it was this situation that happened where she went inside she went inside the food place, Huey Magoo's. All she did was pick up something. The food was already done. She just went in the store, she grabbed it, she picked it up. She said she came outside and the car was gone. So y'all, she looking for the car, she finally find the car. The car is packed in the back of the building. Out of all the parking spaces, your baby daddy parks in the back of the building. Mind y'all, this is Ayana's daddy and Loso daddy. Them two the only ones that got the same daddy. Everybody else different baby daddy. So she said she finally found the car, and my sister is out of the car seat bouncing on his lap. Mind you, she was still dealing with him after that. Out of the car seat. Mind you, my sister wasn't crying. This is not Ayana I'm talking about. This is Faith. Faith was little. So this is Ayana's baby. This is Ayana's daddy and Loso daddy. But this is Faith that was on his lap, which is not his child. So you parked in the back of the building. Mind y'all, she told me this. And you took my sister out of the car seat and you got her bouncing on your lap. She also told me that he used to play with her nipples. Also was a situation where she thought that he touched Ayana. She had a whole rash. She called the police on him and all. He still be going over to that house to this day. Like, you out of all people, like, you can't be no hypocrite. That's what that's called, y'all? Being a hypocrite. Oh yeah, one more thing. She told me that his private part used to get hard around us.
If this allegation is true, it goes far beyond petty family drama or social media name-calling. These are serious claims that warrant real investigation and protective action. If the mother is knowingly allowing a potentially dangerous individual around her children, then CPS absolutely should intervene. Someone in that family, or any responsible adult, should step in and ensure those kids are safe. Social media messiness is one thing. Child safety is something entirely different. What is interesting, though, is that her sister wasn't the only victim, according to PrettyLuhhthang. She claimed that she herself experienced similar neglect and harm. In her TikTok video, she said her mother used to be a stripper when she was young and would often come home with black bags filled with cash, making her count the money as a child. She also alleged that her mother once left her with a man she was romantically involved with, and that man did something inappropriate to her, so much so that her mother again had to call the police on him.
Tell the people how you was a stripper and how you used to come home with black bags and had me count the money and separate the money, living in Rick-a-Trace. Tell the people how you left me alone with 1 out of the 50 you used to talk to. And you came back home and I told you what I told you and you had to call the police on him. You were an unfit, young, dumb mother back then. Now, right now, you've matured. You've gained more sense. But back then, yes, you were a berry brain. So I wonder why, at the age of 13, I came to you and told you that. She was living that fast life and had me in the backseat living it with her.
If all of these allegations are true, then what's going on in this household is not just dysfunctional, it's a cycle of neglect, instability, and exposure to unsafe environments. And while social media is having a field day debating who is right, the bigger issue is the pattern of these alleged incidents. Because if a mother repeatedly puts her children in situations where adults harm them, fails to protect them, or dismisses their discomfort, that's not just bad parenting, it's dangerous parenting. And it becomes the responsibility of outsiders, extended family, or authorities to step in and break the cycle. What makes this entire situation even more heartbreaking is that it's all playing out online. Every accusation, every rebuttal, every painful memory is being broadcast to millions. Instead of healing privately, the mother and daughter are locked in a public fight that keeps escalating. If what PrettyLuhhthang said is true, then yes, it does come across as extremely hypocritical for her mother to judge her like this. A mother can guide, teach, and repeatedly encourage her daughter to do better, but publicly fighting on her social media or ranting about her on a live stream is not the way to help her leave a questionable relationship. If anything, it pushes her further away and makes her seek emotional support elsewhere. And that's exactly what she's doing right now. If the mother genuinely wants her daughter to listen, she doesn't need to scream, shame, or publicly drag her. That approach never works, especially with teenagers who feel independent, misunderstood, and untouchable. What she does need to do is set firm boundaries and have real conversations. Conversations that go beyond "don't do this" and explain why these choices are damaging, how they can affect her long term, and what patterns she might not see because she's young and inexperienced. A mother's job is not to control, but to steer, to support her daughter while still holding her accountable. To say, "I'm here and I care, but I'm not letting you destroy your future." Right now, somewhere in PrettyLuhhthang's life needs to be that steady, grounded presence. That role should belong to her mother. But based on how her mother keeps hopping on live streams, ranting and doubling down, it's painfully clear that she's not interested in repairing the relationship or guiding her daughter properly. I mean, just listen to how casually she dismissed her daughter's graduation, like it was nothing special. She openly said it wasn't a big deal that she missed it. That alone tells you where her priorities are.
A graduation? Okay, you got a certificate, you can graduate. Okay, good job. Okay. It's a reason why I didn't go, and I'd have told y'all that. Okay, it's not that serious. Wait till y'all have babies on your own. Watch.
Interestingly, she didn't stop there. In her next live stream, she was visibly fuming, going off on her daughter and saying things that were honestly disturbing. According to her, PrettyLuhhthang was always a bad child who used to cut herself, throw tantrums, and lie constantly. She claimed that whenever her daughter went on TikTok, she only told half the truth and never admitted how she supposedly behaved at home.
She gonna put me through, bro. This girl be lying. I can't wait to God get her. She lies so freaking much, bro. She lies so much. She didn't tell y'all that, though. That's in my book. She didn't tell y'all that. What the fuck a 13-year-old child wanna know how their kid's daddy dick look like? Don't play with me. I said that's the enemy that got you thinking like that. Don't play with me. Don't play with me, bro. She always lying. That's all she do is lie through her teeth, bro. It's like insecure. Insecure to show my stomach? What? Girl miserable. She talking about me. She miserable. She cried every day when she was ill. Bang, bro. This girl be lying so much. Bang her head to the wall. Used to be in this closet sitting in here like a zombie. Sitting in here like a zombie, bro. That girl is a crash out. That's why nobody wanted her. Nobody wanted her. You cut yourself. You forgot. You was cutting. What? She never tell y'all everything. That girl is a compulsive fuck. She lied so much and I'm about done. I'm about done with her. She lied to me. All she was lying. She never tell y'all the truth. She's a whole lie. No, I ain't going too far. She done made video after video after video after video about me, and all she do is lie. Done made video after video after video after video after video about me, and still lying. Stop lying. Jewel insecure of showing her stomach. Are you kidding me? You've been jealous of me the whole entire time, and you my daughter. Why you walking around my house with little shorts on with your booty out, and I'm telling you, Lil, don't dress like that around their father. Don't dress like that. That's not your dad. Anyway, you should be dressed like that around men. Oh, you just jealous because my butt bigger than you. I got the journal and I got everything you said in the journal. She lies so much, bro.
After watching this clip, it becomes very hard to feel any respect for the mother. The fact that she used her daughter's self-harm as a talking point to defend her own behavior is unbelievable. If your daughter were cutting herself, does that mean she was being difficult or that she needed help? What kind of mother reduces her child's mental health struggles to an argument point on a live stream? And the part where she said that nobody wanted her daughter, that was beyond cruel. Hearing something that harsh from your own mom is devastating. It reveals more about the mother's character than anything her daughter ever said about her online. At this point, it's honestly difficult to blame PrettyLuhhthang for her choices. She clearly had a traumatic upbringing. Of course, she gravitated toward the wrong men. She never had a stable father figure, never saw a healthy model of love. And now, she's trying to fill that emotional void with people who remind her of the chaos she grew up in. Children raised in unstable, invalidating environments often end up seeking validation in all the wrong places as adults. And that's exactly what's happening here. Her childhood emotional struggles were dismissed. Her cries for help were treated as misbehavior. She was not protected or guided in the ways she needed. So now as an adult, she's craving the acceptance and support she never got at home. That doesn't excuse every decision she makes, but it absolutely explains why she's making them. This brings us to some of the information the mother revealed online. During one of her live streams, she claimed that PrettyLuhhthang met this man while she was still living in foster care and was only 17 at the time. According to the mother, he preyed on her during one of the lowest moments of her life and allegedly showered her with money or gifts to win her over.
Y'all, I am letting her live. Y'all keep saying let this girl live. I'm still gonna put my motherly advice and my legal advice. I'm still gonna tell her the truth. No kid should not be okay with talking to an old man. I don't care how much money they give you. I don't care how good they look. You have no business talking to a grown man that's 31 and you were 17. In the foster care, you preyed on this little girl while she was in her lowest moments, and picking her up from the group home is crazy. You wrong. You wrong. That's why I ain't go to the graduation, because this is how I knew I was gonna act, and I probably would have went to and then I probably would have lost, you know what I'm saying? Then my kids would have been, oh, my man, yeah. That's why I didn't go. I'm not gonna go around that man knowing I'll chop it. Okay. Erica, I'm trying. I've been holding on to this for too long, bro. I've been holding on to this for too long, man. I've been holding on to this for too long.
Now, putting all the arguments with the mother aside, whether she's saying this out of genuine concern or just to make her daughter look bad, what she's describing does raise red flags. It does seem like the man is a creep regardless of whether he met her at 17 or 18. The entire situation is messy. And the fact that he allegedly got close to her when she was in foster care, emotionally vulnerable, and without a stable support system, points to manipulation. This is why the internet is calling him out, and honestly, they're right for doing so. While people and even some content creators are criticizing the mother for her toxic behavior and history of neglect, they're also desperately trying to warn the daughter about the consequences of her choices. And most viewers sympathize with PrettyLuhhthang deeply. They understand she's young, traumatized, and trying to navigate life with the tools she has. But they also know that the adult in this situation, the 31-year-old, holds far more responsibility. He's grown. He should know better. But despite every warning, every comment, every DM telling her to leave, she doesn't seem ready to walk away. In fact, she recently posted a TikTok saying he treats her right, treats her better than other girls, and has a good heart. And truthfully, we believe she genuinely thinks he's a good person. But the reality remains that a 31-year-old man involving himself with a teenager like PrettyLuhhthang is wrong on every moral level, no matter how legal things might look on paper.
Y'all don't know his heart. Like, y'all don't know the real. I know y'all judging. I know y'all seeing this wrong. I understand it. For real. But what the fuck do y'all want me to do? Stop talking to him to make social media happy when I'm happy? He don't hit on me. He don't do nothing he ain't got no business doing. The only time he do something he ain't got no business doing is when I used to stop talking to him because I felt like guilty about talking to him. So I used to like cut him off. And that's when he used to go be sneaky because we wasn't talking for them little couple of days. But other than that, he do right by me. Like, y'all don't see the inside. Y'all just viewing it from the outside, and y'all viewing it from, like, I understand everything. That's why I'm not upset, because I understand how y'all feel about the situation. So I still don't give a fuck. Y'all gotta understand, in the day, Jaleel gonna do what the fuck she wanna do. Everybody know that. My grandma could get on here and tell y'all that. Jaleel gonna do what Jaleel wanna do. Y'all is really treating me like a celebrity, though. Like, bitch, I feel like I'm Cardi B right now. Like, I never knew that I was this big. Like, I knew, but I never came to the realization, like, I am really big in life. I'm very important and big. For y'all to be sitting up here making videos and fake pages, and it's just crazy. I've never been through nothing like this in my life. Not only that, y'all trying to figure out who the nigga is. It's crazy to me. Like, y'all, it's crazy. Like, I'm that important. Like, I haven't came to the realization that I have 1 million followers. 1 million people watching me. 1 million people following me. That's big. Oh yeah, and she lied about that not being her real location. She trying to confuse the enemy. She's trying to confuse y'all, which that's very smart to do. There's a lot of y'all and say that ain't it. Of course she gonna lie. Of course she ain't gonna. She trying to confuse y'all. Fuck y'all head up. Duh. Who wouldn't do that? Bitch, your whole load just got dropped. My whole thing about the situation is that was my personal business. Why did you have to bring it to social media? Like, I never got on here and told people your personal business that you told me until now. So why would you get on here out the blue and say that you want to tell them my personal business? Like, I know it's wrong, but besides all the internet stuff, I feel like it should have never hit the internet. That should have never been none of y'all business, especially if I ain't get on here and tell y'all. Like, that's wrong, point blank, period. That's like me getting on here out the blue saying she got 5 different baby daddies and caught this and caught that. Like, come on now. Yeah, she be up under me. Always trying to get me to tell her stuff. Leah, you okay? It's okay. You can talk to me. You can do this. You can talk to me. You can tell me anything you want to talk about. Mommy's here. All that flow ass shit. And it's so crazy because recently I've been saying, nah, I'm good. Because I've been peaked. But that's all. See where she coming from. But like I said, it should never hit the internet. That literally had nothing to do with y'all. Literally.
My man, that's my man. That's my what? That's her what? That's her what? That's her what? Yeah. Thank you. Say it again, that's her what?
At 18, she is technically an adult, but emotionally and developmentally, she is still a teenager, still figuring out who she is, still learning boundaries, still vulnerable to manipulation. A man in his 30s has over a decade of life experience, financial stability, and emotional leverage that a teenager simply doesn't have. And that power imbalance makes it incredibly easy for him to influence her decisions, isolate her, or take advantage of her naivete. Teenagers don't have the same life perspective or caution that adults do, especially ones who come from unstable homes and are desperate for affection or validation. So when a grown man chooses to pursue someone that young, it's not love, it's predatory behavior dressed up as romance, and it sets the teenager up for emotional harm, dependency, and long-term trauma. Now, we want to point out something important. Despite all the turmoil, instability, and emotional neglect from her mother, PrettyLuhhthang did have one consistent source of support, her grandmother. Hearing her talk about her grandma is actually really wholesome. In one of her TikTok videos, she even brought her grandmother on camera to vouch for her choices and to clarify some of the drama happening online. According to her grandma, PrettyLuhhthang's mom has always been bad news. She claimed that the mother doesn't get along with her friends, doesn't get along with her own family, and constantly creates problems wherever she goes.
He's her type. She gonna tell you he's her type of man. So to me, that sounds like jealousy. That's jealousy, that's envy. And who misses their daughter graduation? She can come down for a car show and leave the kids, but she can't come to her daughter graduation and leave the kids. Come on. And then she want to get on social media and spread her daughter business nationwide. I hope you're getting all the ratings you need to boost it up, because what the devil have meant for your bad, God turn it to your good. And that's how you gonna come out. You gonna come out good. Yes. And nothing surprises me about that lady though. Cause she money hungry and she ain't got no friends and she's miserable. She don't get along with nobody, her own family, so I ain't gonna say what I was about to say. She jealous. She wants your man. She wants your man. Keep him away from her anyway. How about that? She ain't got to like him or be around him.
And you said that you would want to what? You would want to meet the guy?
Yeah, I would want to meet my daughter, whoever if he was 41. Just like on Good Times. Thelma brought her 42-year-old dude around her family to me. The daddy didn't agree with it. Okay. But you ain't gonna not go to your daughter's graduation. You just gonna sit down and try to talk to her and give her the best advice.
That's all you could do.
Self-experience is the best teacher. Okay? She's had so much trouble these last 4 years, but she graduated. She made it. She did it. Okay? And I'm so proud of her and thank God for her being able to do it. She had all the support I could give her on getting there. Me and her had bumped heads too, but I still stood right there beside her.
That part.
Okay? That part. Okay? Because, hey, blood thicker than mud. And that's my baby. I don't care. Love covers a multitude of sin. Okay? And wasn't from her granddaddy, she wouldn't be here. So what? Lord, get me off of here because I'm about to go deep.
Throughout the video, her grandmother kept emphasizing one thing, the importance of family. No matter how many arguments you have with your children, you don't just abandon them or punish them in ways that cause lifelong emotional damage. And honestly, she's right. Coming from a person who has seen multiple generations grow up, her message hits hard. Because it shows the difference between someone who understands unconditional love versus someone who weaponizes parenthood. However, while people appreciated most of what the grandmother said, many viewers picked up on one particular detail. She casually mentioned that her husband was also much older than her, and immediately people connected the dots. Someone left a comment that summed up the situation perfectly. What TF is wrong with the actual adults? That 31-year-old man is disgusting. I don't care if the legal age of consent is 17, there's no way they're on the same page mentally, emotionally, or financially. This family is clearly dealing with a generational curse. Grandma talked about grandpa. The mom mentioned her daughter's father, and now the daughter is also with a much older man. Someone take the wheel, because I see a 12-car pileup coming. And honestly, this commenter has a point. People genuinely want PrettyLuhhthang to break the cycle instead of repeating the same patterns that have hurt the women in her family for generations. Later on, PrettyLuhhthang posted another TikTok saying that just because she's dating an older man doesn't mean she's like her mother. She insisted she doesn't let men run over her or treat her poorly. Whether that's true or not is something only time will tell. But for now, it seems like she is very much still with this same man. Just a couple of weeks ago, she even showed a promise ring he gave her. To a lot of viewers, this dynamic is concerning. But to her, it's just a relationship, one she believes is healthy. And while people worry she's making risky decisions, it's also clear that she's building her life in other meaningful ways. Recently, she bought a car, got her own apartment, and even launched a business. Regardless of who she's dating, she's working hard, staying consistent on social media, and trying to create stability for herself, something she never had growing up. So despite all the negativity surrounding her personal life, we think she is still trying to do better. And somewhere along the way, with more maturity and more life experience, she'll likely learn to make wiser choices. After everything she's survived, she definitely has the resilience to come out stronger. So in the end, PrettyLuhhthang's situation is heartbreaking, but also incredibly revealing of how toxic family dynamics and unresolved trauma can shape a young person's decisions. Growing up in a household where emotional neglect, instability, and inappropriate behavior were constant, it's no surprise that she ended up seeking validation and support outside her family, even if it meant making risky choices. At the same time, her mother's approach, publicly shaming her, airing her private life, and refusing to repair the relationship only pushed her further away. This isn't just a story about a controversial relationship, it's about the long-lasting effects of neglect, miscommunication, and a lack of proper guidance. Pretty Little Thug's resilience, her ability to build a social media presence, and her attempts to navigate adulthood despite trauma are truly impressive, but it's clear she's still dealing with the fallout of her past. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Pretty Little Thug's mother handled this situation correctly? Should she have been more supportive instead of publicizing her daughter's private life? And what do you think this means for Pretty Little Thug's future choices? If you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your opinions.